Hello, BookTube. I have a rather paltry mail haul today, as I suspect I will have all week. It's the holiday is over, the observed holiday is over. There's another holiday, an observed holiday, right around the corner, and I think that's kind of reflected in what publicists at various publishers are doing. They're all gone. So the stuff that was on automatic fulfillment, if there's anybody in the mailroom, I might get that, but otherwise, no, not until a little bit into the new year. But there's still some packages here, and who knows? There might be something of interest. I definitely want to go through it with you, so let's see what this first one is. Okay, first one's a major dud. That's all right. This comes out in late January. This is Transit by Rachel Cusk, the author of Outline. Novel that apparently in all of the critical world I was the only person who thought was a pile of crap. So this thing will be hysterically praised, and I'll read it, but I'm not holding out hope that I'll like it. We shall see. I don't know why I don't just tear these things open at random, since they don't work. The pull tab never works. I always give the pull tab a try, and ending up needing to dismember the package. Let's see what we have here. Oh, fantastic. Okay. I actually read the advanced copy of this. This also comes out in late January. It's by Julia Fisher, and it's Monkey Talk, inside the world of and the minds of primates. So apes and monkeys all over the world. A really good popular summary of some of the latest research and study. That's always interesting for me. I am always happy with any book or study or news or item that pushes back a little bit further the idea that mankind is a unique kind of animal, the pinnacle of the tree, the top of the ladder, rather than a species on Earth that does a few things really well, just like all species on Earth do a few things really well. There is no qualitative difference between those things. The only qualitative difference comes is because the thing that we do really well allows us to say there's a qualitative difference. That's all. That's it. That's all. And for the longest time, for 2,000 years, human beings have been, as they grope towards science, they have been consistently imposing their own specialities on other species in order to determine whether or not those species are people. Now, I grew up with a different species. I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt what all you pet owners already know. People is a completely accurate term. If someone has preferences, moods, skills, deficiencies, idiosyncrasies, personality, then that person is a person. And it doesn't matter if they can spell or speak or build a transistor radio any more than it matters whether or not they can take on the color of this couch when they sit on the couch, any more than it matters whether or not they can sit here, take one smell of a living organism 20 feet away and determine what they had to eat in the last 12 hours and when they're next going to be sexually available. Those are just skills. All animals have skills. Ours happen to be cerebral and linguistic. That's all. Nothing qualitative. So books like this that use the latest insight, or The Soul of an Octopus, Cy Montgomery's great book about a totally alien species, something that bears almost no. You have to go back to a sea cucumber to find our common biological ancestor 1 billion years ago. As different as you could possibly be. The forces of nature, natural selection, and the environment creating another kind of intelligence. And that's not the only kind. Of course, there are many. So any book like this always gets a thumbs up from Steve. And apparently, also a tedious lecture. Let's move on, shall we? What's this next one? Oh, goodness. Okay. This is Inheritance from Mother is the name of the book. and it is by Mine Mizumura, one of Japan's most important writers today, celebrated for her ability to draw from classics like Wuthering Heights and The Great Gatsby to create something distinctly her own. In her latest novel, literary critics have noted echoes of Simone de Beauvoir's A Very Easy Death in her account of providing terminal care for her mother, traces of Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own in her commentary on women's self-reliance, and even Albert Camus' The Stranger for her existential inquiry and absurdist tone. Inheritance from Mother follows Mitsuki Katsura, a Japanese woman in her mid-50s who works as a French language instructor at a private university in Tokyo. She is simultaneously grappling with her husband's infidelity and the care of her ailing 80-something mother. It first appeared in serialized weekly installments in the most popular newspaper in Japan from 2010 to 2011, a practice harking back to Charles Dickens' time, and went on to win the Osaragi Hero Award in 2012. Japanese Literary Award, I imagine. I'd love to hear about it. If one of you is in Japan, let me know. Distinct to Mizumura's style, it is an engrossing novel that weaves a number of literary traditions but remains uniquely modern. Okay. All right. Okay. So, what I really want to know is something I shouldn't want to know from the description here. What I really want to know is whether or not Mine Mizumura has an 80-something ailing mother, and whether or not Mine Mizumura has been in the news for having a husband who has been unfaithful to her. What I really want to know is whether or not this is simply autobiography, lightly dressed up as fiction. And I shouldn't suspect that. I shouldn't want to know, but something in that description makes me think the worst. Let's see. That's fascinating, though, that it had a serialized history, and that it apparently, if it's been that long, 5 years, it probably has thousands of fans in Japan. So now I'm curious to know. It's always interesting when a novel has a previous life by the time it gets to you. That's, to say the least, not a usual thing for me. Oh, good. Okay, this is a lovely thing. Good Lord. Finished copy of Night of Fire by Colin Thurban. This is... oh, God, look at how old he is. Oh, my. Okay. This was a very effective novel of his. I have a feeling it will probably be get a lot of reviews in the new year, although it comes out in late January. That's tricky. If I were this is Harper. If I were Harper, I would not bring out any major literary fiction until at least March. You've got plenty of stuff in your catalog. Just fill January and early February with that, and bring out the other stuff later on. But because you want it remembered, the year-end lists, that sort of thing. You want it given major if it deserves it, and it's not gonna get it in January. But let's see here. This is the first novel in more than a decade from a Man Booker long-listed writer. It's a penetrating and poignant exploration of the roots and resonance of memory. It also has a plot, just in case you're wondering. Let's see. Are we gonna be told? The minds of 7 characters as their thoughts and obsessions unfold in the final moments before their imminent deaths in a burning building. And you would think that might leach out the drama, but it's an amazingly powerful book. By far the best thing from him that I've ever read. And then we have this last thing here. A paltry little mail haul, but... Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. This is something we've seen here before. This is Rumi's Secret by Brad Gooch. Isn't that beautiful? The finished copy. Oh, my. This is his latest book. It's going to be his latest book. It's a biography and literary study of the poet Rumi. That's great. This is also by Harper. Here's hoping that they or somebody come out with a nice new edition of the poems. That would be... If this catches on, let's hope that happens. Eminent literary biographer Brad Gooch. Oh my. Some of us knew him when. But he's earned it. He is an eminent literary biographer. I was a masterful portrait of a little-known man who left behind some of the most enduring writing in world civilization. Poetry that is still among the best-selling around the globe. This lyrically crafted, deeply researched work is the first popular biography of the 13th century poet ever? Could it be true that this is the first popular biography in English of Rumi ever? Oh, I'll have to check on that. I certainly have never read one. Wow, wouldn't that be something? What times do we live in? Definitely situating Rumi in the cross currents of Persian, Arab, Turkic, and Mongol history, Gooch gives us an indelible portrait of this mystic so crucial to Christians, Muslims, Jews, and modern-day searchers after meaning. Okay, all right. This also comes out in late January. Great, fantastic. I read the advanced copy of this and was blown away. Just tremendously good. So, but this is just lovely. I will read it again. And there you have it. All right, so you've got that was a fairly good haul for being so small. You have Rumi's Secret, you have Monkey Talk, you have Night of Fire. Now those are 3 good books right there, worthwhile books. Then you have Rachel Cusk, hideously overpraised, but you never know. Maybe the book was made to look exactly like the previous one, sounds exactly like the previous one, but maybe it'll be different. Maybe it'll be really good. And Inheritance from Mother, which had a whole life in Japan before it arrived in English. So there you go. That's a small post-holiday, pre-holiday book haul. And I'll see you soon, book 2. Thank you.